Hello and welcome back to another Tonto video. In this one, we're going to the TMNT, the Mutant Nation, the issue number 7. And this issue, oh boy, I have to say that this issue might be the best one they've released so far, just because of how much it ties into the ongoing series, and just how well it portrays the Foot as just being like the worst kind of people ever. And I think that this is what the whole Mutant Nation series should have been about, just setting stuff up and for the ongoing series and just doing stuff like that. Had I done a lot more stuff like this, I feel like this series could have gone for a lot longer, because this is amazing, great stuff. And I just say that in this issue, with how they presented the Foot, it really made me love them as well. And also really like how they were designed and all that kind of stuff, because before, with how they were being done in the ongoing series, they didn't really feel much different than how they were. But in here, with how they are being very disloyal to Karai and all that kind of stuff, it's just amazing. So yeah. Okay, so with the issue, I'm gonna talk about the backup story first, just because there's hardly anything to really talk about there. Just because in this one, we get to see Monty Moose. He goes into a bar trying to sort out this problem, which is a mutant cockroach, a blue one for some reason, and he's been told to leave. So the Foot get involved because they want to get rid of him by killing him. But Monty Moose decides to take him out to the back alley to try and save him. However, the Foot get involved and actually kill him, and then go on to try and kill Monty Moose. However, the police arrive to save Monty Moose in time. And yeah, I mean, I'd say that overall for the story, it's not a bad one. I do like how they are trying to really force the fact that these Foot don't really have too many morals, and just going after the mutants just because they're different and the mutants and that kind of stuff. It was different. I do feel like this story was a little bit weak with the story. I feel like had this story had a bit more time to flesh out some stuff, I feel like this one could have been a lot more interesting. But I'd just say that overall, what they're doing with this short story, just setting up the first just being these awful people, going after mutants, and then being very disloyal and that kind of stuff, I do like that side of things. And if anything, I would have seen like a lot more of these kind of stories where I've just got to see the Foot just doing stuff and just being like the worst people. I enjoy that kind of stuff. It's different. It's like unique, because you know, we don't really get to see too often the Foot being this way, and it's just so amazing to actually be them in it being the main story, main focus, and all that kind of stuff. It's nice. So yeah. Then for the actual main story, we get to see Bludgeon, Natsu, and Koya. They're all teaming up again to go after the Foot. And with this one, there isn't really too much to really talk about, just because for the most part, we're just going from one location to the next and just talking. And even with that, there isn't really too much to really go over there. I mean, the only thing which I'm a bit confused at is that, with Bludgeon, he's he wanted to leave the Foot Clan behind and all that kind of stuff, which is understandable for his character. But now he wants to get back in contact with everyone and then try to do all that. It's understandable, but it just feels a bit out of character. And then even with Koya, it feels like they didn't really know what to do with her character after issue or the Armageddon game stuff and the Alliance stuff, because she was a part of the Alliance team, and then she went off with Bludgeon, not be part of the Secret History of the Foot Clan miniseries, but now she's back with the Foot. It just feels like they don't really know what to do with her character, and she's just kind of just there doing whatever they need to be. Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, they're going from one location to the next, and the reason for this is just because the Foot are arriving every time they arrive, and then they have to piss off, and they do. And they do eventually go over to this one restaurant where we do get to see a full fight happening, and that's kind of cool. But again, there wasn't really too much to really talk about there. But for the last bit, we've got to see the characters go over to Hale and say that even though you're in charge, you've got to see Karai and all that kind of stuff. And this is where things get a bit more interesting, because Hale says even though Karai's in charge, I'm not going to listen to anyone else, just because even though he might be part of the Foot Clan, I only listen to Karai, and so far she's not here to tell me what to do, so I'm in charge. Which I do find to be quite interesting, but at the same time, it really just goes to show Karai's lack of leadership with how she's doing everything, because if she had someone like Natsu, someone who she trusted and that kind of stuff, why wouldn't she give full power to Natsu, Koya, or anyone like that? And it just seems so stupid with like leaving the full like Foot Clan with Hale and not really doing any like leadership kind of things or anything like that. It just really goes to show like how like it really goes to show like how bad of a character Karai has been made into over the past few years. And it's really disappointing because I really want to like Karai. I mean, she's like a really I love the character, but at the same time, with how much I screwed her over, it's really hard to say that like she's a good character now. They've really made her into like one of the worst characters ever, and that's really disappointing because I really want to love her, but when she does stuff like this, can you really say anything positive about her? But yeah, either way, we do get to see a decent fight breakout with the Foot Patrol and all the mutants, which is quite nice. I would like to see this fight go on a little bit longer, but because this fight happened near the end of the issue and only had like so many pages, it felt like it was very limited to what they could have done, because I definitely feel like Bludgeon, Koya, and Natsu definitely could have taken on the Foot Patrol and Hale and pretty much like most other characters in this issue, but they had to stop it here just because they were being overpowered. But like Bludgeon tells Natsu and Koya to leave just because he's seen a vision that Karai is going to go down a very dangerous path and might die, which at this point I feel like that might be a good thing with how badly they've written their character. So, you know, there might be some wins in this issue. But yeah, so after that we do get to see the Foot, they catch Bludgeon, and Hale wants to keep him just because he likes sharks and he wants to have a pet. Oh, this really annoys me. It's not anything to do with the actual scene itself, but it's just because I know that going forward they're not going to mention Bludgeon, they're never going to bring him up ever again until like maybe like one day in the future where like one panel with them bring him up. It's going to be so annoying because we know that he's captured and all that kind of stuff, but we just know that with the writing that like they're not going to do anything with his character, bring him up or anything like that. It's going to be so frustrating. And it's something which I do wonder like, how much they've actually planned out this whole story arc with Hale and all the Foot and all that kind of stuff with all the other writers. It's going to be interesting, but you just know that they're not going to bring Bludgeon back, which is damn. But yeah. And then also Hale doesn't want to kill Natsu or Koya just because he doesn't know like what connections Natsu and Koya have with the Foot. Understandable, but at the same time, we're most likely not going to see Natsu or Koya for a very long time, which very frustrating. But yeah, so I'd say that overall this issue, it did a really good job of doing stuff with the Foot Clan, showing off how bad these guys are, setting stuff up with the Foot, and I thought that's what it needs to do. And I feel like had this series done a little bit more stuff like this, whereas I would set more stuff up for the ongoing series in a better way, this I definitely would feel like would have helped this series out a lot more instead of trying to do where it has been doing. So, just how did they go so wrong? But yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this issue. Do you like it? Do you not? And yeah, that's it for today, guys. It's some please share, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.